I do believe we can officially say Madam has lost her cotton picking mind. Okay? What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another All the Queen's Men video. And I don't really have an intro because this episode just blew my mother freaking mind. If it blew yours, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so that you can join my tribe and don't miss out on any of the All the Queen's Men conversations that I have with my content. I think that you are going to love it here. I don't even know where to begin, y'all. She got a guillotine and chopped this lady's head off, y'all. Madam, now I have written for you throughout this whole time, aside from when you was about to kill Amp. And I can't remember right now, but it was one other time when I was looking at you with the side eye. Oh, when you decided to have that little man sodomized, girl. I was not with you on that. But every other crime, every other violent endeavor, every other time you had to let people know who you are, I was standing right beside you, regardless of how morally corrupt it was, honey. But a guillotine, you didn't even make Lotus sweat. You didn't even dangle Lotus a little bit in front of the concierge. You chopped this woman's head off and then sent it to him. Like, for real, for real. I always bet on black. I told y'all a couple episodes ago or a couple videos ago that I was always going to bet on black, always going to bet on Madam, and I felt like Lotus was a formidable opponent. However, it's given very much so it was all talk. Concierge, you hyped her up, baby, and she didn't stand to the reputation that you had tried to let precede her. She was quiet, meanwhile she had a drive-by shoot up the whole damn Eden. She was calculated, meanwhile she had a sloppy ass impersonator for the police officer grab Madam and then still can't keep Madam, and Madam still winds up killing this girl while she's handcuffed. Like, Lotus, girl, I'm disappointed because while your face card will never decline, your criminal card, girl, you are definitely in a decline, boo-boo. Because this was like the most anticlimactic end to a seemingly very interesting new villain entry. And now we're back to the concierge and Madam going at it. She's officially going to be an enemy. But also, like, the concierge, Racquel, how bad is this actually going to be? Because you ain't like this girl anyway. It was just a marriage arranged for business. Y'all weren't bumping uglies. You and Madam clearly have so much sexual and physical chemistry. Can you not figure out a way to smooth things over to still get your $1 billion with this girl out the way? Because at the end of the day, could you blame Madam? Like, I mean, I blame her for the damn guillotine, but could you blame her for retaliating? Because this girl did not stop coming after her. She was minding her damn business. Her black owned business at that, and Lotus just would not stop coming, and now Madam has stopped her for good. Y'all, I'm not really looking forward to Madam and the concierge going back and forth and going at each other. However, this finale is about to be explosive. Madam, also, let's go ahead and call a thing a thing. You OD by sending the head to him. You ain't had to do all that, honey. Not too much. This episode starts off with them in bed together after they had a beautiful romp session. And I'm surprised, y'all. I was so surprised that he actually showed up because I felt like he felt like something was going on and he was going to try to protect her and help her. But it was just so easy for them to come in and take Lotus. It was so anticlimactic. But he over here blowing Madam's back out, and then, you know, now that he's starting to put two and two together, she gets her little gold gun from up under her pillow and then go ahead and lays out what it is and what it ain't. And baby, you have always been an op. You have always been the enemy. And not you might have been kind of a little bit sort of falling in love, Racquel. Love will get you killed. That's what they say. Aside from what's going on with Madam, Lotus, and Racquel, or now Madam and Racquel, who are back at odds, we are also in this episode having to watch Face cry about being put in jail, finally get a hold of Midnight, who was again, because all he know how to do was, like, this man is always having sex or on stage, and it boggles my mind. Blue is in her little love cocoon with this girl. I cannot remember this girl name to save my life. Is it Alicia? Who the hell knows? But I don't. It's a lot happening. Okay, let me take it one thing at a time. Let me go back to Madam, actually. Because aside from Madam, you know, facilitating Lotus being abducted, going ahead and riding that thing with the concierge and giving it to him one good time, one last time, I also feel like we get a moment that speaks to her like multiple personality disorder, or they never really confirmed what her mental disorder was at the very beginning of the series. But if y'all remember the pilot episode, we got a scene where we saw her moving around her bedroom in her nightgown. She was taking pills, but she was also talking to herself, and it felt like they was given multiple personality disorder or dissociative disorder. And there's a moment where Blue is trying to talk her down from like moving forward with what's going on with Lotus, and like maybe Lotus is too dangerous, maybe the concierge is too dangerous, like do you really want to do this? And after the madam lays her ass out and tells her to do what the hell she asked her to do, she's sitting in there by herself and she starts to like repeat things to herself, and she's starting to talk to herself. And I'm like, okay, is this a call to that? Because they very rarely even bring this up, but that was a very real thing in the pilot episode that I thought was going to be a much more major part of her character as we went throughout the series. And aside from her asking Tommy here and there to bring her medicine, we don't really get to see any more things that tie to that. But that, to me, being an underlying condition for her, makes so much sense as to why she does not care, why she's able to be as reckless and risky and all of the things that she's able to do with completely no concern or any kind of caution, which she just throws to the wind. It makes sense that if she has a mental disorder that allows for her to skate along all of the edge and not really fear much. I wish that they would just kind of like lean into that more, because we only get this little one moment and I kind of think about it, but it's not necessarily clear, and then we move on. Now, the other big part in this episode is really the setup of El Fuego and him basically deciding that he's going to be a rat. And I am very surprised. If y'all watch my previous breakdowns, I was like, something about El Fuego feels like he's never going to crack. Like, he might seem a little soft, he might seem a little sentimental and sensitive, but it didn't feel like he would go against the family. But in this episode, he walks off stage, decides to give Big D a last warning, and then go his ass down to the precinct. And I'm just like, sir, what actually sparked that? Like, are you that concerned? Are you that stressed? I don't really get it, because he goes from stage to that. And we saw early in the episode, he shows up at Doc's house and he's panicking because, you know, Sandra's father was there and he didn't know how to respond, and he's very emotional and distraught, and he don't want to drink no more to take it away. He wants to go to police, and Doc tries to talk him out of it. So I guess it's just like carry over from that. But it just seems so disassociated with when it comes to El Fuego. And again, I'm just really caught off guard. But y'all might have seen it coming. Y'all might have seen him be, you know, soft as wet tissue, and he was going to fold. And now all this means is that Madam is going to have to kill his ass. That's it. That's all. Because Faye sees him, because he's down there at in the jail. Miss Patty got a last gift for him, which was the restraining order from her lying about, you know, him completely beating her ass up. So he's down there waiting for somebody to come get him. And of course, the dumb FBI agent gonna walk El Fuego past him as if, girl, do we not understand that retaliation is a thing? Like, this girl is the like worst detective ever, if you ask me. And the fact that she's leading this investigation tells me that they are not actually going to wind up being successful. A lot of is going to go down, but she's ultimately not going to win in the end, because she's sloppy, she's not paying attention, she don't have no kind of concern for details, and she just expects people to come forward, which, I mean, El Fuego does wind up doing this in this episode, but she's like pressing face and just expecting people to run tell that, girl, you barely got a case, you got undercovers who don't know what the hell are they doing. Let's go ahead and get ready to throw this damn case out, if you ask me. Let's talk about Miss Blue, who has decided to go ahead and get old girl a job at the club. You know, she originally didn't want to do that, but I guess after you put a gun to somebody's head that already has tons of physical abuse trauma and you're trying to get them to trust you again, you're going to go ahead and concede to that. Blue spends a good amount of time trying to convince this girl that she's safe, and I'm just like, I want Blue to be happy, and I want this to be a safe space for her, as well as the girl that's running from her ex-husband or her husband who's been beating on her. But everything about this feels like it's so extra coincidental, which gives a setup. It's too right. It's too calm. It's too good to be true. God damn it. And I do not trust it. And I'm not letting that go. Something about old girl is not right. I don't care if she got scanned and it showed that she, you know, is actually who she says she was. Something else is in the mix. And it's going to come out, I think, once she starts working at the club. Now, aside from that, y'all, we gotta watch a even worse spiraling amp who's just completely drunk off his ass, and I think he doing crack, y'all. I definitely think he's doing crack, because the way that he approaches Diamond and Big D when they fixing up her damn car, and he's so jealous, and he want to be peacocking with his toxic masculinity out here in this jean jacket with no shirt on. What are you, a Backstreet Boy, sir? Get the... Like, Amp is the most disgusting thing on my television screen, and I hate that I have to see him when I see him. It's just so annoying. Between that altercation and then him coming in to the locker room and peacocking in front of all the boys, talking about some doc you in my seat, Big D, don't you get up, this is my aunt, but F this, and he drunk. Like, you look like a crackhead, sir. Like, you look like you belong on somebody's corner with half a 40 and a crack pipe in your hand. Like, what are we doing, Amp? Do you see yourself, my nigga? I don't know what it is, but when I get disappointed in characters, it might as well be like I'm disappointed in people that I really know. And I'm beyond disappointed in Amp's character. I would love to have a little bit of clarity and understanding of how he's fallen so fast from grace and how he's decided that this is what his life is going to be. Wasn't it that you wasn't going back to jail? Wasn't it that you was going to not give up your life for nobody, and meanwhile you now becoming the scum of the earth? Like, make it make sense, Amp. Do we gotta go back and call for Jacoby? Like, what is going on? Y'all gonna have to provide a little bit of insight in the comment sections down below, because I really need to understand what the hell is going on with Amp and why we gotta watch it. Now, other little non-factor news. Rayshawn is back trying to get his job back. It's so cute watching him talk to Trouble, because you can see that they actually had a real relationship, and Trouble don't be liking nobody. So the fact that she was like trying to take Rayshawn under her wing and she actually gives a damn about him is very interesting. But then, you know, she can't really focus too much on that, because she also is very resentful of Big D getting a spot that she been basically trying to go for forever. And she has a moment where she confronts him. This episode is also full of a lot of setup. I really think that this finale is going to be insane. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video a like, because you made it all the way to the end, so I think that you liked it. It's your good sis, you Love to Talk TV with, and I'm gonna catch you in my next video.